14-6 here in the second quarter. 4-point lead for New York. One of two meetings between the champs and the Knicks this year. Nowitzki able to get it to rattle home. Hubie, he's 5 of 8 shooting here today.
Well, you can see right there. If you're not going to bring the double team, I'll put it on the floor. If you give me space, he created space, and then the fadeaway. That's one of his favorite moves.
Tuning in, Jeremy Lin has not turned it over. 4 assists. And the Knicks have been better with him on the offensive end on the floor. Here the Mavericks zone, giving them problems. Shot clock down to 2. Lin on the penetration. And it's last touch by Dallas.
So you have to be very observant now when you're the point guard and you come up the floor. Now, if you're going to run pick and roll game, you have to see whether they're playing a man-to-man and trapping, or are they in the 2-3 zone and just switching. There's a big difference.
Tied up to be a jump ball as they got into that middle spot of the zone.
Well, they realize that Stoudemire is the only guy that's going to score in the painted area in the post-up. Now, in the last 2 possessions, they double-teamed him on the 2 possessions ago, played him front and back, and discouraged the pass. Now, on that situation, they had an advantage because of the trapping of Lin and the ball movement, but as soon as that pass went into Amari, they had 2 guys on him.
Tyson Chandler comes back in, so does Brandon Haywood for Dallas. The starting centers return to the game. Stoudemire got up and won the tip. And Fields on the twirl. Amari got the rebound from Dirk and threw it down.
See, early on we told you that the Knicks can hurt them on the board. Right now, they have 11 second chance points. That is a ton.
Difficult time for Amari, as you probably heard. His brother passed away, killed in an automobile accident. Returned to the team earlier this week. Terry threw it away. He got caught up in the air with nowhere to go. And it's New York ball.
Well, you always tell players, if you're going to leave your feet, make sure you're going to shoot the ball first. Because if you're going to pass first and they cut off the time, they cut off the passing lane, it usually ends up in a turnover.
When Lin went out at the start of the second quarter, Hubie, we saw Iman Shumpert come in and play the point. The Knicks were nowhere near as effective offensively. This is a better role for him, kind of a combo guard.
Look up now. See, they release a guy on those long jump shots.
Jason Terry knocks it down.
I think they have a few guys who've played a few minutes here and can score. So anytime you take a long jumper, they're releasing that guy. And now if you shoot and miss in a long rebound, they're out in the open floor. Nice move.
Fields passed it, Chandler couldn't finish, and Haywood goes to get it for Dallas.
Yeah, that was a shame because that was a strong move. Remember the bench points by Dallas. They're second in the league to Philadelphia.
Lin on the takeaway to Fields.
I like that. I like the fact that Lin understood, hey, Fields is having a great half, not only off the dribble, but defensively reward him.
Quick turn on Stoudemire. Good defensive help. Fields on the push. Knicks have numbers. Lin in traffic. Saved by Fields. That was another example of what we saw with Lin a couple of times when he gets in traffic, whereas against other opponents in his college days, he could finish. The defenses are bigger and quicker to collapse when you penetrate.
Well, I like what he said yesterday, and that is that he learned so much Friday night because he drove into the paint, left his feet, and then either crashed into people or multiple turnovers, and he had 9. He said, I learned a great lesson. At this level, you have to be able to shoot it in that area or make the pass.
Landry Fields just trying to do what you said earlier. Iman Shumpert was trying to do, crowd Dirk Nowitzki. He was crowding, Dirk forearmed him away, and the foul was called on Fields. So Shumpert comes out, and J.R. Smith comes back in for the Knicks. Hubie, what the Knicks are in this run where they won the 7 straight games and then lose to New Orleans is not what they're going to be in a few weeks. You add J.R. Smith. Stoudemire was out for a good stretch of that. Carmelo Anthony's going to come back. So roles, not just Jeremy Lin, But the other guys who were doing a lot of the stuff that you love that the Knicks were missing, they're going to be in different roles.
Absolutely. And then what will happen is people's shot attempts will come down, and then also angles. You have the coaching staff has got to come up and say, okay, hey, we're going to get our three best shooters, high percentage shots in their best areas, and then feed off of that. Now you have a point guard now who can make things happen in Jeremy Lin.
Tyson Chandler was stung as he landed awkwardly on the way down as he got hit by Haywood.
I give Haywood a lot of credit there. He went for the shot block, and unfortunately, he didn't leave his feet. He didn't leave his feet, so you had to have the body contact in the head, in the neck, and in the shoulder area. Now this guy right here, we can talk about MVPs, but Tyson Chandler has just been magnificent. Rebounding, shot blocking, moving without the ball, and creating great passing lanes for Lin to get in the dunking game. He leads the league in field goal percentage at 70%.
You can see the way he braced himself with those wrists, his wrist really bothering him. No effect on that first free throw. Well, tomorrow's President's Day, so we have a special edition of the NBA over on ESPN. Atlanta will take on Chicago. The Bulls have been atop the East for most of this run, but lost at home to the Nets. Derrick Rose has been out. New Jersey with a very nice effort yesterday. So the Hawks and Bulls coming up on ESPN tomorrow, 4 Eastern time.
Now, all of a sudden, everyone has forgotten about Hamilton with Chicago.
Richard Hamilton,
because we all know that he's a 15 to 18-point scorer, and he also has been out.
Yeah, he has not played at all. Rose and Hamilton, very few games together, yet the Bulls have built a good mark. Marion on the curl. He's long, but he's got his own rebound. Haywood.
Well, Haywood very seldom is involved in the offense. He's like an afterthought. When things break down, they go to him. But remember, 7 foot, he's carrying a ton of weight in there, and he can hit those baby hooks.
Part of a three-headed monster trying to replace Tyson Chandler, who as a center physically and mentally gave such a defensive edge to the championship team from Dallas. Lin got in the lane, connects over Jason Kidd, and Jeremy Lin tops the scoring sheet with a dozen for the Knicks. 5 assists, no turnovers. Marion tied up by Lin. Jump ball is called.
I like what Jeremy Lin just did at the other end. Once he gets down in that painted area, we call it the mid-range game. If you do not play him, just watch it. He goes by Kidd. He can take it up. Remember, 6'3", 240, and you can see he's been pounded a number of times in his first half, but he just keeps on moving, and he can score the ball in that painted area.
Jumping with John Marion, and of course the Knicks win the tip, and it brings the reaction from the crowd. A New York crowd has fallen in love with what he has done these 2 weeks. Stoudemire. One club too many. He'll stay down here with the Knicks on the other side of this timeout. Under 3. And the story continues. The best defensive team along with the Lakers that he's played. A lot of defensive attention and a good job so far by Lin.
Will be